Okay, you might be a quick Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great, you're go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stateline Show.
Hey, the truth of the matter is that there are keys for homes that no longer exist. It's a realtor telling you that, so I know that to be true. I'm Greg. He's Tom. It's your Saturday morning Stateline show. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. The homes no longer exist, so there are still keys out there?
There are keys for homes.
Okay, so if the home isn't there, you don't need the key. You could just like walk into the dead space there, right?
I don't purport to know anything about the paranormal, so I'm going to leave that alone.
All right. Anyway.
It's the 13th day of May, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been.
In the history of mankind.
And you made it. Congratulations. Thanks for tuning in. We have a special guest this morning that we are excited to bring you. Danielle Angilari is the executive director of NAMI of Northern Illinois, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that with her, and got a chance to reconnect with her this week at one of my stops this week that I'm going to shout out because I got a handful of shout outs this week, and want to get to those right away after we do our big number of the week. Oh shoot, you know what, all the stuff I did, I got to do one more thing. I was so close. I was so close, Tom.
Huh.
I had everything ready but this. Boom, save. All right, big number, make your noise. There we go. Here we go. In our current race to 10, we have Tom out in front by a score of 5-2. And our big number of the week this week is 1 billion. I think that was a big number last week too. 1 billion. This week's answer though is tushy or tour. I said it, tushy or tour. Which is the answer? We'll tell you by the end of the show. I still owe a couple of breakfasts because I still haven't paid up to Joann for like the last 2 races to 10. I'm behind. That's on me. That's on me. And of course, now that Sherry's place is closed, we got to find a new place to do breakfast. So we're still kind of.
Yeah, the 3Bs up there on North 2nd is a really good place.
That might be the spot.
Oh, 3Bs is really good.
All right.
Good. Or the Swedish Pancake House too. That might be a little far for you guys though. It's right by my house.
Well, we'll figure something out. We will.
I sent you a mind.
Got it. All right. Thank you very much. And all right. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone for ready later. We have big announcement this week. I announced it I think last week, but it's solidified this week. We are on Spotify, big time on the Spotify. So please go and get on your Spotify app. It's totally free, and you can follow us now on Spotify. Our episodes will go up there afterwards. We don't go live on Spotify, which is the only bummer part of it. We can't go live on Spotify.
But there's nothing live on Spotify anyway, right?
No, not that I know.
No.
So
yeah.
Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, that's live right now. Boom. Thank you. Your comments, go ahead and throw them in there. Throw your guess to our big number of the week. What is your guess? Tushy or tour? We'll give you bragging rights if you get it right this week. And follow us on Facebook and all that fun stuff too. But now you can please follow us on Spotify and leave us a 5-star review. It makes a difference. It really, really does. So, and there's so much cool stuff on Spotify too that for free. I'm a big podcast fan. Mike Rowe and Joe Rogan and a bunch of other ones that I like to listen to and even sometimes watch. I don't always watch them. I usually just listen to them, but some of them have video.
Yeah, they're more audio than visual anyway. I mean, who needs the visual part, right?
Yeah, exactly. So as far as shout outs go for the week this week, hard to know what to start off with, but I'm going to start off with Red Day, our Keller Williams Realty signature Red Day, annual Red Day Volunteer Day was this past Thursday. And kudos to our team at Keller Williams Realty Signature for organizing a handful of projects because we got 200 agents in our office. We need a lot of things to do.
200 agents in your office, just in the Rockford office?
Just in
wow.
It may be a little less than that just in the Rockford, because we do have a Galena office. We do have a Janesville office. We're opening a Beloit office.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I think total last check, there was like 215 agents that hung their license at Keller Williams Realty Signature, but that's probably spread out over the 4 offices.
Yeah. It's still a whole lot more than I would have thought. I would have thought maybe 25 people in your building.
Oh, no. We did volunteer work this week for the Veterans Drop-In Center down on 4th Street. That's where I was for the morning on Thursday. The Veterans Memorial Hall, Tony had a team over there that was cleaning up and freshening up Veterans Memorial Hall downtown.
Okay.
And we had a bunch of people that went out to Poplar Grove. Oscar Mike Foundation, they have a house in Candlewick and that needed a lot of yard work. The landscaping had just gone crazy, so they cleaned that thing out. They filled up a couple of trailers full of brush and stuff to make that yard look great again. And they also were donated some property just south of Candlewick off of Highway 76 there that they're going to be turning into a place where the veterans that they serve, the veterans with disabilities that they serve, can do things like on quad runners, and they'll have like a shooting range, and just it's a big plot of land. It's, I don't know, 20 or 40 acres. I forget how many acres it is out there. But we cleaned a bunch of brush off of that as well. Had a big burn pile going to burn all the stuff up and clean that out for them. And it was exciting to hear what Oscar Mike has planned for that, for the people that they serve. So check out hashtag Red Day 2023, and you'll see all kinds of stuff, not just from Rockford, but from all over the country, the different things that Keller Williams Realty offices did on their volunteer dedication day there, which is always the second Thursday of the month of May. And it celebrates Mo Williams' birthday, who is kind of the cultural leader, the heart, if you will, the heart and soul of Keller Williams Realty. Her heart for helping not-for-profits is life goals. I love what she does for people and not-for-profits around the country. Our LinkedIn lunch this week yesterday featured former Congressman Don Manzullo as our special speaker. He wrote a book that we talked about here a couple weeks ago, and it was nice to hear him actually talked about 3 of the stories out of his book, and the book has about 22 chapters. So he basically summed up verbally about 3 of those chapters at his talk yesterday. And we had a great group of folks. Even Michael Coolidge came up from Rochelle. They've got an event planned for Don in August in Oregon to kind of a "This Is Your Life" type of a thing, celebrating Don's service to our region. And of course, Don's farm was just outside of Oregon, and
in China,
I forget. Leaf River, I think, is actually the town. It was the zip code.
Okay, all right. I know he's from China. I believe he was born in China.
Get DonManzullo.com if you want to get a copy of his book. It's really good. The first 5 or 6 chapters are just all about his life growing up, his parents, how they helped so many people that moved to Rockford from other countries. The train ended basically in Rockford, not a block from their grocery store off of 11th Street, and all these folks that were coming here for the first time, needing a place to live and a work. And here's Don's dad saying, okay, I can, you can go see this guy. He'll give you a job. Go see this guy. They'll give you a room to stay till you find a better place, to live more permanently. He was like the services guy. He would give people store credit so they could buy groceries because they had, they got here and they had hardly anything. And he's like, okay, because this guy's going to give you a job, I know I can afford to give you a credit of $10 or whatever, so you can get.
Well, back then, when people were
right,
honest,
back 100 years ago, and when you could, and $10 could feed a family for a month. So, anyway, really, really cool stories, and check out donmanzulo.com. Next, Rockford had a great meeting at the Realty Association building. We talked about the Community Oversight Board, which Chief Red was there to talk as well about. She was quick to say, "Hey, we got nothing to hide. We're glad there's this Community Oversight Board. We want them to look at some of these things that police do to make sure we're doing our jobs right." And there are some things that the Oversight Board doesn't do, but for the most part, they're looking at officer activity. Was this necessary? Was this a good call, a bad call? What can be done better? Very, very interesting stuff there.
I like Chief Red, Chief Carla Red. I think she's
literally.
She what I like about her is there seems to be no controversy.
Yeah,
she just does her job. She just does her job, and she does it well. And she seems to be
and
very
she's everywhere.
well-liked.
She's involved in so many things. I'm not sure when the lady sleeps, but she's got she's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
She's at top of her game, and she's in the right spot. So kudos to her.
That's good.
And let's see, the last shout out I want to give today is we finally visited Prime, the restaurant off of East State Street. It's been there for a couple of years. I want to say they opened during COVID. I want to say they opened late 2020, and it's been kind of a slow open for them because there's not a lot of fancy steak places in Rockford.
I'm trying to figure out.
So it's behind.
Where this
it's
is.
on Lexus Drive. So it's behind the Toyota dealership that's over there.
Okay, so you're talking way out. Almost
It's not far from Perryville. It's on Lexus Drive. It's next to what's it called? Basically, was it Weiss? Does Dr. Weiss have his office over there? Anyway, it's behind the car dealership on Lexus Drive. It's called Prime. It's a fancy steakhouse. It's not cheap, but yesterday was my wife and I's 28th wedding anniversary, so we figured we should probably do something special. We're that couple that doesn't feel the need to necessarily celebrate on the day. When we celebrate Valentine's Day, it's usually the weekend before, the weekend after, or some random weekday.
For a lot of people, well, it's the Saturday for a lot of people. Because Valentine's Day is on a Monday, we can't really do a Monday, so we'll do the Sunday afternoon, evening, or the Saturday or whatever. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we're basically the let's avoid the crowd thing, and we'll do a slower weekday thing. Plus, we'll get better service. So we like to do that, and we went to Prime last night. We went there early, and so we were like the first ones in the restaurant, maybe the second ones in the whole restaurant for their. I think they opened at 4, but we got there at like 5:30, 5:45, and it by the time we left, it was pretty filled up. There was quite a few folks there, but kudos to the chef. Wonderful food. It's a very, very nice place. So if you haven't tried it out yet, check out Prime Steakhouse in Rock. So before we get to our guest, any final ones from you, Tom? It's already 13 after. Holy cow. I told her we bring it out at 10 after. Anything?
No, let's go to our guest. I'm good.
Let's go to our guest.
Now we can talk some later, maybe.
Danielle, do you want to talk Packers football at all? Do you even care?
No, absolutely not.
No, thank you.
Not Packers.
Wait. Is this okay? So no Packers. Are you a Bear fan or just not a football fan?
I am a Bears fan and a Bills fan.
Oh. And a Bulls fan.
I'm sorry.
Huh? Wow. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We're equal opportunity everybody here. Equal opportunity everybody. That's a backwards G. There we are. See, I figured out how to do the mirror thing. There we go. Go Packers.
Put them away.
Sorry. Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
There we go. We're rebooting. That was me, guys. That wasn't you. So did you figure out anything while we were waiting?
Was I supposed to be pondering?
I don't know.
I was listening in.
Okay, everything is still kind of giving me the "what are you doing" thing. All right, so all right, back to the beginning. Danielle became the executive director of NAMI 2 or 3 years ago now. How long have you been?
I've been with NAMI since 2016 somehow. A couple years into my employment there, I became the executive director, so probably 5 years ago almost.
Okay, awesome. Well, I mean, I want to say I first met you around 2017, somewhere around there, and we actually were together with Gloria Cardina Codillas for a taping of her show at the same time. She taped 2 shows at a time back when she was doing her Comcast days, and we were there for taping day together. So that. Yeah, she's wonderful. She was hoping to come to Linked Lunch. She probably is going to come next month. She couldn't make it yesterday, but she's doing okay. But so why NAMI? Why did you get involved with the National Alliance on Mental Illness?
I guess a couple different reasons. So I have a psychology background, but I feel that I've always kind of been a more sensitive person. So I believe that mental health conditions, just mental health in general, it's just something that is kind of isolating at times. Like if you're in poor mental health or if you're living with a mental illness. And I've always wanted people to never feel like othered or that they're alone in this world. And I think that kind of draws me into that. I've also had a lot of personal family friend experience of mental illness and just know how it impacts people. And I just want to be there to help.
Okay, that's awesome. It was cool to hear you say that this group got started in, did you say Madison?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Close
right
to home.
Madison, Wisconsin. This group started back in '79.
Yep.
And been in Northern Illinois since '84. As far as what NAMI does, their overarching purpose for existing, what would you say to someone to kind of sum that up?
I would say just kind of a leading voice for mental health throughout the nation. So there are about 650 affiliates of us sprinkled throughout the United States.
Wow.
And just kind of a unified message. We don't do the clinical side of things, but it is the support, the education, the advocacy for changing and like saving mental health care.
Okay. So the groups locally that you refer people to, I mean, most of us know about Rosecrance a little bit. Is that the right kind of a track that we're thinking here?
Yeah, definitely. So we do have a mental health advocate in our office now, which is amazing. She answers our helpline and then kind of navigates people through the system. So it doesn't have to be just your counseling or your psychiatry, but anyone's basic needs. I mean, your body as a whole, we have to take care of it, right? So anything that might be impacting your mental health, we want to get that taken care of too. So that wraparound care.
Okay. And what are you seeing? I guess I know we're talking mental health issues, mental health situations. So there is no typical thing, right? But I guess on an average month, what situations are you seeing that you're helping people with? If you can sum that up, what is the most thing that you see? Hey, here's a situation, here's maybe an age group or a mental condition or something that you're seeing a lot that you can help people with.
I would say first would be finding a provider that works with them. Unfortunately, a lot of it is insurance based. So just finding someone that's able to accept different insurance or no insurance, and then maybe the issues served, the type of therapy they offer, kind of that type of thing. I know there's a workforce shortage throughout everything. So that also affects the mental health field. There are teams trying to work on that, and there are different avenues trying to be put into play. But right now, it's definitely a little bit hard to get into a provider that's accepting new clients right away, unless it's very private care. But there are organizations here that will help financially too, so that's always helpful. And then I would say the second biggest, probably how we were started. I kind of shared that story the other day. So we had two moms in the 1970s. Their children were living with schizophrenia, so their children really didn't have insight into their illness, which is a symptom of an illness like schizophrenia. And we have a lot of families that call in. Their loved one doesn't understand that they're ill, so it's really difficult to get them into care involuntarily because it's a voluntary system. So just being there to support and educate the family as well.
That's got to be one of the toughest things for people to deal with. The success story that you shared on Thursday. What was that lady's name?
Jeanette.
Jeanette's story, a 10 plus year saga of a story. To hear the success that she's been able to achieve and now become an advocate for people was really something special. Obviously she's sharing that story publicly, so we can talk. You can talk a little bit about her and maybe her situation, and that's got to feel good to be able to share her success story.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be honored for us to share that here. Jeanette lives with bipolar disorder, and there is actually like a national statistic, like between onset of symptoms and actual treatment is like about 11 years, and that's exactly what happened to her. She had 10 years of no education, not the proper medication, like she wasn't able to get all of that. And then,
If you don't know that you have something wrong with you, you don't know where to go. You don't know who to turn to. And the fact is, a lot of people are too embarrassed to say it. No, I'm fine. I'm good. I grew up, I have a lot of experience with this. I grew up with a brother, youngest of four, who struggled with mental health issues for a number of years. And he was I kind of say this jokingly, it's certainly not funny, but he could never hold a job, but doggone it, he was a pretty good drug user for 30 years. And that kind of ruined his life, but ruined a lot of other lives in the process. And once Rosecrans came along, and once all of these organizations started coming along, he finally got back on the grid. And what I mean by that is he now is no longer working for money, or I mean for cash money. He's now got a job and a social security number. So this was about 8 years ago. And this was such a blessing for him. He became a wonderful, wonderful human being because he found God. A lot of things happened, in the way it should have happened. The help was really late in coming, but that wasn't anyone's fault. That was his fault for not recognizing, for not wanting to humble himself and such. So now he did pass away a couple of years ago, but he died happy. He died a good, clean human being. And he made a lot of restitutions and restored relationships. So this was wonderful. That's my experience with it. So whenever I encounter somebody who I think might need some help, I'm not going to say, hey, I think you need help. I'm going to say, hey, if you need to talk, I have a shoulder. I know somebody if you really need to talk, or let's just go have coffee or whatever. Sometimes that's all it is. It's just that little seed. Plant that little seed, and then somebody else can take the reins and move them into another direction. So God bless you for what you do. This is really, really, really important stuff.
It was, and it's so tough because, mental, you were explaining on Thursday how mental health, it's not Alzheimer's. That's a medical condition. It's not, there was a couple other things you'd mentioned that it's what it's not, but the list of things that it is pretty darn long.
Yeah.
And the people that need help but either won't go for the help, or that there's a real challenge there. And is there support groups, is there support that NAMI does for those folks that have people in their lives that they're trying to help but they can't seem to?
Yeah, so we have 4 different family support groups for loved ones of adults, and then we have one specific to parents and caregivers of children because we know that they're going through 2 totally different worlds. Maybe parents also have still a little bit more ability to help and like put kids into, I don't know, like more treatment options, right?
Right. Lots of different opportunities. You have a lot of education stuff, a lot of advocacy stuff. Is there something that you would like to focus on today as far as asking people, hey, if you want to, you just mentioned like kids or teens, here's a group for them that they can be involved in to dig a little deeper into what they're experiencing and help them, cope with it and get better. Or adults, what kind of groups or support would you like to talk about here today?
I would say, Greg, your little tag, like you're not alone. I would say, I think support and education are both extremely important, but you can't be overeducated, in my opinion. So we do have a class for parents and a class for family members that are caregivers, two separate classes, but the class for parents is kind of a walkthrough on your own time. It's an on-demand setting, so it's all virtual. We could help with access for that too if someone was struggling with getting internet access or something like that. But it's just kind of how to communicate with your child, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of the rest of your family, because we know it impacts everyone in the household. Um, how to navigate the school system, or if they're touched by the juvenile justice system, stuff like that. And then very similarly for caregivers of adults, you're learning those things as well, but in a more adult frame, right? So the
Okay.
different system that the adults are walking through, but everything is free of charge to the community. And I will like to say that, all those groups and all those classes are run by volunteers, and that would be an awesome way to get involved if you have the lived experience to give back.
So you have volunteers running, because there's a lot of different groups that meet throughout the month. Is it a lot of weekly groups or monthly groups?
Yep. So our groups for adults living with a mental health condition is 2 times a week, and then family groups meet. They're different leaders, but like 4 times a month. So
Okay. Well, I want to invite people to check out your guys' Facebook page. It's a great resource for people to check out different groups that are available. It's NAMI Northern Illinois. NAMI Northern Illinois. Look that up on Facebook and you'll find the page here with a bunch of different things going on. Rockford, Belvedere, Loves Park, Poplar Grove, all pretty much most of Northern Illinois, North Central Illinois, right where we are here. And what did I see? All the different services that are available, all kinds of stuff here right on your Facebook page. And of course, the website as well is NAMINorthernIllinois.org. So check that out. Awesome. Well, anything else you want to add here, Danielle, before we let you go this morning? Really appreciate your time.
I want to say thank you, and it's nice to see you both. I guess I just wanted to end with, we might all not have mental illness, but we do all have mental health, and it's so important to take care of whatever you can do to do that. I think it's important to explore.
Yeah. Everyone's levels are different, but they all exist.
You kind of, I'm sorry to do this, but you kind of brought something up. We may not all have mental health issues or anything, but we also know somebody who does. And so you're exactly right when you say you can never be overeducated. You cannot be, because the more education we have, the more knowledge we have, gives us more confidence to be able to help somebody, to be able to say, I got that shoulder or whatever. No, that's very, very important. It took me a long time to really be able to connect with my brother, and 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, to be able to connect with my brother. And that was so very, very, very important to him and to me and to the whole family as a whole. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Well, to that point too, Tom, I guess as a closer, if someone feels they or someone they love needs services through NAMI, is there like an anonymous way to do that? Do they not have to necessarily say, I need help, but I don't want the whole world to know I need help? How does that look?
It's very confidential. If you call, you never have to share a name if you don't want to.
Okay. Awesome. Well, there's a great resource here in Northern Illinois, and this being Mental Health Awareness Month, every month needs to be Mental Health Awareness Month. It's one of those very, very important things, and I think we can all agree, especially over these last 3 years, our mental health awareness has been raised to 10. It's gone from a 3 or a 4, maybe to a 10. And we all know we need to take care of ourselves, not just our bodies, but our minds as well. So I appreciate all that you do, and look forward to helping you keep spreading the word about what's available to our citizens of Northern Illinois.
Thank you so much for doing this.
You got it. Thanks, Danielle. Have a great rest of
with
the
us.
weekend.
You too. Bye.
There's Danielle
Bye-bye.
Angilari with Northern Illinois Division of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI of Northern Illinois. So
Yeah, very important stuff.
absolutely. Joann is hanging out at PAWS this morning. Good morning, Joann.
Good morning, Joann.
How is you today?
It's fine.
She's fine. She's enjoying a quieter day at PAWS. I don't hear a
Yeah,
lot of
next week I'm getting a puppy. So
oh boy.
puppy.
Oh boy.
Nice.
All right.
I'm very excited. I haven't had a puppy in a long time.
You ready? You ready for a puppy? Are you ready to train a puppy, a potty training, all that stuff?
Is Jorge going to be jealous?
My dogs love the foster dogs. They're
Yeah.
kind of nutty like me.
Well, they're kind of
Where'd
used to
you
it.
get
I mean,
it from? They got raised by a nutty person.
yeah. Well, they're kind of used to it. When you bring another one in, I can just see Jorge rolling his eyes. Oh,
then-
boy,
But
another
when
one.
they leave, they sing that Joseph song. I always say that. One less dish on the floor. One more.
That's awesome. Well,
We're going to move some, but mom's got more love for us. I don't know. I just made that up.
we haven't experienced what you have in your house every week, Joann, but we have been watching my son and daughter-in-law's dog all week, and that's been and she's still kind of a puppy-like attitude about things, so that's fun. that might be why I'm a little tired.
Is Nita like other dogs?
For the most part, yeah. It kind of amazes me how well she puts up with Lacey's, nipping at her ears and being, rambunctious and stuff.
My older dogs do not tolerate puppies well, but Mitch is just a little over a year. He loves foster dogs. I mean, he's like, especially if they will run and play with them, and then when they leave, my poor dogs have to put up with Mitch's antics.
Sorry, dogs.
Yeah, I need someone to play with, and my friends left, so now you're stuck with me.
Well, we've got some stuff to share this week, so why don't we do that right now? It is SMS info time. This week's SMS info unofficially brought to you by Altruize, the app that enables volunteers to track, verify, and maintain their own community service data for a lifetime. Check it out in the App Store. Altruize. Tell a better story. Live a better life. And got to see Nicole. She came to our LinkedIn lunch on Friday. It was good to see her again and connect her with some local not-for-profits that should be advocating for her app and getting her app into more volunteers' phones so they can keep track of their volunteer work. Stuff going on this weekend. How about Art of the Earth? We talked a little bit about this last week. This is continuing now. Art of the Earth at the Burpee Museum of Natural History. I'll learn how artists and scientists work together to create a visual representation of a time on Earth we have never seen before. Paleo art. Today from 11 to noon and 1 to 2. There is a fee for non-members, $15 for adults, and $12 for admission. I know it's a $12 admission and a $3 class fee. That's why that is $15. So that's happening today. Bloomfest is happening in courtesy of Women's Space. Beautiful spring day, hopefully. It's going to be kind of a rainy day, I guess, today, but at least it's not snowing, right? Women's Space is on Maria Linden Drive. It's in a bit of a neighborhood there, so you might have to drive around to see it. 3333 Maria
You get
Linden.
your lost and then you find it.
That's right. It's a beautiful place. Women's Space. That's a 10 to 4 today. Free admission, handmade goods, live music, food and beverage trucks, kids activities, all kinds of stuff going on at Bloomfest, a spring artisan market. The Parks having their Park Kiwanis Pork Chop Day today. That's at Loves Park City Hall. Loves Park from 11 to 5. It's $8. You didn't get your tickets in advance because it's happening today. So it's $8. Their 2023 Pork Chop Day at Loves Park City Hall. And of course, the Kiwanis Club, they support so many local not-for-profits. They do a lot of great stuff. Is this not quite there? No. There it is. All right. I didn't know why that was not popping up. So there's Art of the Earth at Burpee Museum. There's the Bloom Fest at Woman's Space. There's the info there. And then here's the Parks Kiwanis Pork Chop Day. And then one more for this week, Atwood Center Birds of Prey, recurring weekly on Saturdays from 10 to 2. It's free admission. The Birds of Prey exhibit, a very special and unique exhibit to the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area. Saturdays at 1 o'clock, they do something special. It's open 10 to 2, and at 1 o'clock, they feed the birds. Watch the birds eat. Atwood Center is right here in my lovely village of New Milford. It's 2685 New Milford School Road. Beautiful place. Even on a rainy day, they've got indoor stuff. And the hiking trails are all wonderfully mulched. So as long as you stay to the mulched trails and you got your boots on, you won't get all muddy on a day like today. If you stray off the mulch trail, that's on you. If you get all muddy, that's on you for leaving.
Bring an extra pair of boots just in case.
Today.
Every Saturday. Every Saturday for the first.
No, I'm at the Bloom Fest at Women's Space. Is that just today?
That's just today. 10 to 4. Just today. So check that out.
So go there or be square.
Go there or wait till next year. Then that's it. Business is booming for Kiko Kawano. She runs a course at a Tokyo elderly center, and she helps people do something. And what do you think that might be? Kiko Kawano in Tokyo, Japan, has a business that's booming right now, and she helps people to do something. I'm going to ask you to think about what that is, and I'll tell you what that is here in a second.
And what does she run in Tokyo? What is it?
It's a business.
It's a business. Oh,
booming.
okay. Okay.
It's a booming business, and you'll never guess what it is. There's no way you're going to guess what it is. I'll tell you after we talk about this other stuff. NFL released its schedule for the upcoming season. Social media spectacle. If you haven't seen it yet, check out what the San Diego Chargers did. They turned their schedule into an anime cartoon. It's absolutely incredible. Look up San Diego Chargers schedule. You'll find it. It's fun. The Titans also do something really cool with their schedule. The New York Jets enlisted a guy called GeoGuessr Dude, and he's doing stuff to tell people about the Jets schedule. For as far as locally goes, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears open and close the season with games. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but the very first game on the schedule for the Bears Packers, they play against each other September 10th, I believe. And they play the last game on the regular season.
That is really weird. I hate it when they open up together. I really do.
I do too.
But this will be interesting because if they open up with the Bears and the Bears are not all that, plus no bag of chips, Jordan Love stands a good chance of. I mean, here's the thing. This is very, very important. If the Bears beat the Packers, like, oh, thank God, Aaron Rodgers is gone. We finally beat you guys. But if Jordan Love continues the trend and he throws 3 or 4 touchdowns, that's demoralizing to any Bear fan. I guarantee you they're going to be shaking their head going, oh, my God, please make it stop. You know?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to hear Jordan Love say anything about I own the Bears. I don't think he's that kind of guy. But you're right. He's going to open his era of starting for the Packers in Chicago, where Aaron Rodgers has pretty much owned the Bears. What's going to happen? Anybody's guess.
Oh, I guarantee you, if he has a great performance, 3-4 touchdowns, whatever. I'm not saying he's going to. I would like it, but I don't know what's going to happen. He could throw 8 interceptions. Who knows? But I guarantee you someone in the media is going to come up with a meme or something. Aaron Rodgers just passed ownership down to Jordan Love. Exactly. I can see it happening.
those memes are already created. They're just waiting to be unleashed if they beat the Bears.
My favorite is well, I kind of came up with this on my own, but maybe someone else has as well. Remember when Brett Favre left and we said, "We will never forget you, Brent." I think I talked about this last week. I'm going to have a shirt that says, "We will never forget you, Aaron Roberts."
Aaron will never forget you, Mr. Roberts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The NFL schedule is pretty wild this year as well because there will be a game on Black Friday, a full slate of games on Christmas Eve, games on Christmas Day, a game on New Year's Eve as well. Pretty much all the holidays are covered.
I know. Does the NFL not have enough money? Do they not have enough TV time?
It's insane.
Okay, I love it from a football standpoint. The football fans' standpoint. I love it because I could watch football 24/7. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Spreading the game a little bit more just so everyone can watch these national games. And I think it's
absolutely. It's absolutely no. So that's a good idea there. What I don't like are games in Germany, games in London. And I have no problem with the games there. I have a problem with the team having to travel there. And then all of a sudden now you got jet lag and everything else. And I think it really messes with your head, with your physical, with everything. And I don't like it because I think it's unfair to a lot of teams.
Yeah. Not a big fan of that either. They got to schedule that properly so that the teams are either have their bye week the following week or something. Something's got to be organized properly so these teams aren't really penalized for traveling overseas.
Well, if the NFL did what I think they should do, is you take weeks. We got 17 games now, so you take week 8 and week 9, and in week 8, there are 32 teams, so 16 teams are on a bye.
Yeah.
Week 9, 16 teams are on a bye. That way, everybody's bye is crunched within those 2 weeks. Then you can do your games for,
I think there's
London
between
and Germany.
week 5 or 6 and week 13 or 12 or 13.
Last year, the first bye was week 3 or 4, and the last one was 14. Guess who the 14th week was? Green Bay.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
all right.
It's just ridiculous, and it's horrible for fantasy football, by the way.
Check out.
Yeah, because if you don't, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, check out the San Diego Chargers schedule release, social media. That's what you want to see. It's become an annual thing now. This is not the big number of the week this week, but it could have been. How much empty office space does New York City currently have right now? This is a stat, according to a couple of researchers. In New York City right now, there's enough empty office space to fill more than 26 Empire State Buildings. 26.
Wow.
That's about 74.5 million square feet to be specific. Edward Glaser and Carlo Rotti, researchers, made the comparison to emphasize how New York City and other large American cities need to make drastic changes to their zoning laws to adapt to this whole new work from home era. The ultimate goal, they say, should be to become a playground city where people live, work, and play all in the same neighborhood. There's some benefits to that. There's some negatives to that. I can see, there's
I think they're trying to put a positive. Well, I think they're trying to put a positive spin on the fact that New York, Illinois, California, there is a common bond between the three, are losing people like you wouldn't believe. It's like
lost already.
It's like a boat sinking, leaking water. Not leaking water, taking on water, and that's what's happening. That's what's that. You're losing 400,000 people a year, I think is what it was. And Florida's getting them. Texas is getting them. Arizona's getting them.
I believe it's called 15-minute cities. There's a movement to create 15-minute cities where anything you could possibly want to do is within a 15-minute walk of where you live. And there's some positives to that, and there's some negatives to that. So the one thing that I like to remind people of is who makes our food and what they do and what they need. And to ignore the fact that we're supported pretty much globally, our food source, by about 3% of our population. It's absolutely insane. We have to take care of that 3% better than we do. And they need to be, the people that feed us, Hello, we need to take really good care of them and give them opportunities and not restrict them because you want 15-minute cities.
Right.
Farmers can't live in a 15-minute town. It's just, that's not realistic. Let's be honest. 74.5 million square feet though of empty office space in New York City. A couple of randoms this week. Scientists are saying now that our reliance on GPS is actually harming our brain's ability to navigate. And I think I can attest to that as a realtor who shows houses every week. When I started 10 years ago, for the first couple of years, I didn't use GPS ever. If I had 6 houses to show to a client, I mapped them out, and I might have given my client the map that I was using and say, here's the path we're taking. And I didn't rely on GPS at all. I just followed a paper map. But for like the last 6 or 7 years, it's all I just rely on GPS. And you don't have to think because the GPS is telling you where to go.
Not only that, you're not paying attention to, that beautiful house over on the corner. And look at that new structure going up. I wonder what that's going to be. You don't pay as much attention because you're simply listening for at the next right. At the next stop, take a right. You got
to purposely really engage your brain to do that sort of thing. And I honestly find myself doing that a lot. It's like, okay, I'm going to take. I know the GPS is going to tell me to take a right here, but I'm going to go straight and take the little bit different route just because I'm in charge. Darn it!
Yeah,
I know where I'm going. I don't need to turn left. I don't.
I saw something the other day. Some woman literally drove right into the lake because the GPS. How can anybody be that stupid? Yeah, I said it. How can anybody be that stupid? You got water coming. Well, GPS said to go that way. Oh, I'm gonna go.
It happens.
They had to rescue her. They had to dig her up.
We were following GPS
grab her out of
time.
her window, pull her out.
It took us off the main. We were on the highway. It took us off the highway, went down a country road, and it was dark. And we're like, why are we going down this country road? This doesn't make sense. But the GPS sent us this way. We followed it, and then it put us right back on the highway. So it's like they wanted us to take a little scenic detour in the dark. It was kind of scary.
Sometimes
I get that. I've done that too. The problem is when you're coming up to the water and it still says keep going straight. You have to have more common sense.
You gotta have.
It's okay to go into a dark.
Do not drive through this lake.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't drive through the lake. That's not good.
Only if you got one of those duck boats from the Dells or
That's
something.
right.
You can just go across.
That's
We
right.
figured college students having a big laugh. Look where Joann is driving now.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there was like an accident that is routing you around, so that's nice. It's nice to know that hey, there's a traffic slowdown because you got gapers everywhere. So if you want to get to your place on time, here, go take a detour. But sometimes those might be old notices that don't exist anymore. But anyway, speaking of not being really wise or smart, another study found that people who find USB sticks will often unwisely plug them into their computers. If you ever find a USB stick, what I might have. Oh yeah, I do. So someone just leaves some random USB stick laying around, and you think, oh, USB, free storage, free memory, I can use that. You don't know what it's going to do to your computer when you plug it in.
That's right.
It could have a program on it that automatically launches as soon as it starts up and fish for your information off your computer, hook you up to some Wi-Fi, and send your bank information. So, who knows? Login, passwords.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. Other tech.
So basically, you do it on someone else's computer just to make sure that it's okay.
Right.
We'll do it on Tom's computer.
There you go.
No, I need my computer. I can't have it infected.
Speaking of technology, handwritten assignments, especially in high school, probably going to become the norm again thanks to AI and ChatGPT. We've got students using the technology to write their essays, and guess what? These essays are going to be written by hand in class from now on because teachers want to see you actually know the information and you're not just having Chat GPT or some artificial intelligence bot write your essay for you. So that's quickly. And I found this interesting. In 2018, the town of Elgin ended their 45-year ban on ice cream trucks. So for the last 5 years, ice cream trucks have been allowed in the city of Elgin, Illinois.
So now we can take our ice cream trucks there.
And now they have ice cream trucks there. So, all right, I gotta.
As long as you got $4.
Now that you've talked about ice cream and ice cream trucks, what is the business that Kiko Kawano runs in Tokyo, Japan, that has become a huge boom in the last year? Any guesses?
I'm going to say
Japan.
skydiving.
You got anything from her, Joann?
No, I'm trying to think how it's related to ice cream.
It's not. Well, it is because ice cream, and when I think of ice cream, it makes me smile. And Kiko Kawano has a center that helps people relearn how to smile. Now that COVID-19 has been downgraded in Japan and face masks are coming off after 3 years, she's reteaching people how to use their facial muscles to smile. The government announced in February COVID would be reclassified as a reduced threat. Since then, Kawano has seen a 4.5 times jump in requests for smiling lessons compared to a year before. This Asahi Shimbun of Tokyo reports that Kiko Kawano's classes are 4.5 times fuller now than they were last year, and her classes teach people to relearn how to smile.
That's kind of crazy.
That's kind of odd. All right. There you go. There's your randoms.
Yeah, that is
for
really.
week.
You're right. We've
Something
never
like
guessed
that.
it in a million years.
That's a business. All right, Joann, what do we got going on at PAWS today? We got some
We're busy, but no dogs.
no
So
dog.
quiet. Next week's the dog time.
Okay. Well, let's
No,
all things PAWS here for a while. www.pawshs.org, pawshs.org. Got any questions for the PAWS Humane Society in Rockford? 815-299-PAWS is the number.
we can do a little walkthrough.
And let's take a look. Come on.
Oop.
Right there. There we go.
I kind of, this what? You got some food? Okay. Oh, thank you. I was going to look real quick to see what his name was. We have an interesting cat that came in. Let me first, we show the, always like to show the status. Lots of cats, not many more dogs.
Okay.
So, gonna squish through here. Beautiful calico girls.
Oh.
I was just gonna show. Ooh, these look like a pair.
Hello there.
They're like, we are not posing for pictures today. Let's see.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
Buckley and Buckley. I can't see what the other one's name is. This guy, was found as a stray, and his microchip said he was 19 years old.
Whoa.
So, but the microchip was unregistered, so they could not find his owners. But he is both front and back declawed. But unfortunately, he doesn't get along with dogs or cats, so he's going to have to find a home without them.
Okay.
But
Only
yeah, but 19. And there's someone on our website who thinks that's her long lost cat, but who knows? Now look at this cutie. Now he says, take me home. And our cats that were in here, the orange buddies, were adopted. There's someone in the back there. Were adopted by someone who was willing to take a chance on, still kind of unfriendly, but we're really excited when someone steps up and says, I want to try these cats and give them a home.
That's awesome.
So, ooh, we're weighing kittens. Seeing if they're ready for being, making sure their growth is doing good. I mean, we are very focused on keeping our animals healthy. Those kittens haven't been spayed yet, right? And this is my favorite. I don't know if you can see. Mom with kittens.
Oh, it's the nursery there at PAWS.
We kind of, like I think I said last week, if we can't find fosters, we kind of keep them here. And we have them kind of in isolation that no, we're not going to all walk in there and take care of them. This is Nellie. She's another beautiful cat. I could go through the whole thing. Beautiful cat, beautiful cat. For sure. Mikey. So it's kind of our, but the 19-year-old cat, poor Paw Declawed, found as a stray. So
19-year-old,
yeah,
did you say?
You didn't hear me say that. Weren't you listening?
It's amazing.
19 years old. Yeah.
Right.
Found as a stray, though.
Well, as always, for more information, pawshs.org or 815-299-7297. 815-299-PAWS for all things PAWS Humane Society in Rockford. All right, let's do this. Our big number of the week. Our current race to 10 has Tom leading by a score of 5-2.
5-2.
And there we go. Maybe. Our big number of the week this week is 1 billion, and the answer is tushy or tour. That's right. Tushy or tour. Tom texted me his answer at the beginning of the show, Joann. So what do you got for me? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll go with tour.
You're going to go with tour. Oh, okay. Tom also went with tour today. So do you know anybody who has a Peloton, one of those Peloton bikes?
I
You know
do not.
You know what I'm talking about? But when I
Yeah,
mentioned
the
the Peloton,
exercise bike.
Is that the one where they lay back like this?
That's a
No. Recumbent bike.
recumbent bike. Thank you, Tom. It's a recumbent
The
bike.
Peloton is you take tours like you can punch it up and you can go up like the Swiss Alps or wherever you want to go, and you work with an instructor and a trainer and all that.
A Peloton is a stationary bike.
Oh,
It's for your house. It's for, they might have them at your workout club. It's a Peloton bike it's stationary, but it's got a screen. So you can be biking with other people. Or like Tom said, you can be biking up the Alps or biking around France or whatever. Peloton has recalled 2.2 million of its bikes. 2.2 million. If you bought a Peloton bike in the US anytime between January of 2018 and May of 2023. The last 5 years, you should stop using it and contact Peloton for a free repair kit. According to the company, Peloton says the bike's seat post could possibly break while you're riding, and that could lead to injury of your tushy. Owie!
Oh, ouch.
Owie! Owie, owie, owie. So congratulations, you both get points this week. The tour. This week in Sweden, Beyonce has returned to the stage for her solo tour for the first time in 7 years. Her tour has 56 stops so far anyway. It's called the Renaissance Tour. Tickets average $700.
Wow.
Average ticket price, $700. Beyonce now joining Taylor Swift on the road. The race to earn $1 billion on a single tour has begun. Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, Drake, all packing stadiums. Taylor Swift is projected to get somewhere in the $500 million worth of ticket sales during her tour. But they're wondering if Beyonce can top $1 billion on this 56-stop Renaissance World Tour. Maybe it'll happen. And if it does, by the way, Rockford's own Emily Bear is playing piano for Beyonce on her tour.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
She's
That's
playing
so
piano.
cool.
What was that bear? Oh gosh, I can't think of her partner's name now.
Oh, Rachel something maybe?
Emily Bear did something with a person on. It was a musical, the unofficial Bridgerton musical on YouTube.
Right, yeah. It wasn't Rachel or something?
It started with a B, and I can't remember what the name of the cast. Bear and something. Anyway, if it's still up, it's totally worth a listen. It's so good. The music is incredible. And Emily is on tour wearing the outrageous costumes and playing piano for whatever acoustic piano set that Beyonce is doing during her tour. Kudos to Emily and best of luck to her on the whole tour. I'm sure she's making some decent coin on that too, and even selling some of her own records.
Barlow
and Bear and Barlow. Yes. There you
go.
Barlow. Thanks so much. All right. So here we go. You both get points, and it's again 6-3 now. Tom out in front in our race to 10. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up for the week?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And also mothers of four-legged friends.
That's right.
Hey.
That's right. Absolutely.
Thanks for all you do, moms. We love you. And remember, you change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone this week. Not just mom, but random strangers. And we'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday morning Stateline show. Happy Mother's Day, Joann.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Bye-bye.